Hello guys and welcome to another edition of Rage Against the Dice. Today, as you can see in front of me, is Konflikt 47 German Army Starter Set. Now Bolt Action 3rd edition is coming out and I'm super excited for it, and I will be continuing on with my Germans. Really, September couldn't come quick enough. I'm very excited, especially as they've started dropping stuff now. We've seen how force organisation is going to work. And it's a mixed bag. There's a lot of people angry and there's a lot of people happy, and I'm kind of just on the wait and see train. But in the meantime, I thought I would go in a little bit sci-fi, especially now that I have heard that Andy Chambers will be doing something with Konflikt 47. I'm a big, massive 80s Warhammer kid, so I'm a massive nerd. So Andy Chambers and Skaven and Battlefleet Gothic, etc. are kind of my jam. So yeah, the idea that Andy Chambers is going to be working on something of a bolt action persuasion does interest me quite a bit. So I managed to get here the Konflikt 47 German starter army. Now, the grenadiers that are in here are the same grenadiers I have a shed load of. But with the way the new force organisation works in bolt action, I'm definitely going to feel I'm going to need a few more riflemen. So there's no hardship there. Now again, 6-sided dice, I will definitely have them because they're grey, I believe. Oh, sorry, the order dice, not the 6-sided dice. But everything else in here should be perfectly usable. I mean, I've got about 30 pin markers, but it's fine. I use them for vehicle damage as well. So, let's bust this bad boy open. I think it retails for just over £100. You can pick it up on places like Amazon, Wayland, etc. a lot cheaper. So, you know, there's definitely some places about. So, first thing you get is a Konflikt 47 small rulebook. Now, Sparks and I are at some point going to go through this. Now, I believe Sparks can be doing his Americans, since he has a load of Americans anyway. But it is the full rules. It's not, you know, like a compromised version of it, much like with the Bolt Action rulebooks. The smaller one is a full rulebook. Then, you get the Konflikt 47, like, play sheet. Now, I also have that for Bolt Action, and I've stuck it to the top of my games case. So I'll probably do that with these as well, to the either the underside of that same lid or to a different games case. I don't know, but I will keep it somewhere where I've got all those details to hand. Don't you worry about that. These will get used. Then we go across here. So, because I know it angers a very, very small part of the internet, thank you very much, Alexandra, for packing these dice for me. So you get 6 more grey dice, which, as I said, I have plenty of them, but I can always have more. And then some plain white dice, which I use for either pin markers, wounds, or other things. It doesn't matter. So, here, once again, let's have a look. Who packed these? Slide it out. So, that's Cosmina. So, thank you, Cosmina. Absolute legend, you. Now, these guys are Nazi zombies, so anybody who's playing any one of the 4 billion computer games that's made since Black Ops will be able to celebrate there. But I believe these are called Totem Corps. You get 8 of those and they are metal. And I'm guessing you'll get the bases in there separately as always. So I'll just slide these to one side. What we'll do is the usual. I will show you everything built at the end. With regards to the Grenadiers, I won't need to do them because you guys have seen the plastic Grenadiers on some of our other videos on the channel. That being said, I might pull out a couple of painted ones just while I'm here, just causes. So, the actual main pack, which I guess is all the plastic sprues, was packed by Mirella. So again, thank you very much. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4 with 6 on a sprue. So that's 6 by 4, 24. 24 miniatures, what you get in here. I'm going to make them up as a mixture of things. As I said, I do need a lot of riflemen, but I want to make up a couple of more Panzerfaust and things like that. Because I only have 5 Panzerfaust made. And I'm not sure, obviously, with the new edition, how Panzerfaust and things like that are going to work. Be good to have a few more just in case. We get more transfers. Now, these are always welcome. Can't go wrong with these. I go through them quite a lot because I've got them on my tanks and things, as any of you who have watched my Achtung Panzer videos would see. Achtung Panzer, really, really great game, by the way. So, The vehicle itself is a Panzer IV. We've done the Panzer IV again on the Achtung video, so I will just show a built one. But the turret itself is one big lump of resin. Now, cool thing about this is you can buy this turret separately. So if you have a number of Panzer IVs already, boop, just goes on top and you're good to go. It's one huge lump, bit of cleaning needing, but that's no hardship whatsoever. And as I said, it just fits on the top where the normal turret would be. Now I'm hoping that in here is the full Panzer IV kit, meaning that I will get the full turret, meaning that I can use it for both bolt action and Achtung Panzer and Konflikt 47. If not, however, I do already have 3 Panzer IVs, so it's not the end of the world. But it does look like you get the turret on here. So that'll be interesting. Once I've built that, I'll be able to let you know that a little bit better. Now, the last thing to look at is the Spin Light Panzer Mech, which is the little walker. Now, I believe this is a mix of resin and metal. So let's have a look. Now, for a long time, the reason I didn't buy Warlord's vehicles was because they were a mix of resin and metal. So I used to buy them from other places, Rubicon being a good example. However, this is a resin body. Probably a bit of cleaning up needs doing, but not the end of the world. And there's the little bit that people sit in. And then you get the commander and the legs are metal. So at least it's not the other way around. And Cosmina, thank you very much once again. And then finally we've got more of these. As I said, these are really, really good. However, because it's red on red, they can become hard to see. Less so for you, but more so for your opponent. So, you know, what I did on one set of mine was I gave a little quick dry brush across the top just to pick out the colour. You can use a lighter red, you can use an orange, you could even use a white. But it just makes them a little bit easier to read. They also make good blast markers so you can put them down for damaged vehicles. But don't get them confused, obviously. But yeah, so this itself, as I said, metal legs, doesn't come with a base, which means I'm going to need to put it on a base. I'm hoping it'll fit on a 50 or 60 mil. If not, I'll have to order an MDF base separately, but it's not the end of the world, is it? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go away and I'm going to get excitedly building now. I'm hoping this is going to go up very, very quickly, but knowing me, by the time I've got everything built and I've filmed the last part of the video, it'll probably be about November and people will be going, what do you mean 3rd edition's coming out? 3rd edition's already out. We'll have probably heard more on whatever's happening with Konflikt by the time this video actually goes up. But as always, guys, I shall be back in a bit. I'll grab some plastic glue, I'll grab some super glue, and I'm going to get furiously building. Back in a minute. So, welcome back, guys. Now, for yous, it's been, 30 seconds. Maybe you paused, maybe you went and made a cup of tea, and you should make a cup of tea, because tea is awesome. For me, it's been about 3 months. Now, the reason for that being, I've had a load of other projects on. However, they are now built. Full disclosure, you may recognise this tank, but with a different turret, from our German Achtung Panzer video, in which that particular tank showed up. Now, the reason for that is, the tank that came with this set, we're actually making as a piece of scenery. So we're making a crash tank because we've got an American one and so now we're making a German one for Achtung Panzer itself, but also to be used in Konflikt and bolt action, loads of other stuff. So I couldn't really build it for this video. However, as you guys know, I've got a crap ton of tanks. So instead I've just popped the turret on it, which is exactly what I'm going to do in game anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at that first. So here you go. The tank itself isn't finished. I'm onto the stowage, which is usually where I stop for a long time. See, I haven't painted the turret at all. That is my camo pattern that I use for bolt action, Flames of War, and for Achtung Panzer / Konflikt. Since I last did the video, I think at the time I did it, Andy Chambers had just been announced. And I think I mentioned that in the video. It's been a while. Since then, Gav Thorpe and about 4 other people have been added on. So I'm getting very, very excited for Konflikt. Now, there is a newsletter that you can sign up for. I definitely think you guys should. But yeah, so here's my cool little spider. I gave him with a leg raising off the floor, just because I thought it looked better. If I put all 4 on the base, he kind of looked like he was doing like spindly leg. And in terms of the Germans, I just built them as normal. You can see them there. So they're just basic Germans, sprayed in the grey that I always spray them in. And then I'm going to get the German field grey on top of them and then paint them up as I normally would. But it was just an end to the video because they've been lying around waiting for me to finish it off. So I thought I'd best do that now. I will show off some of these though because they're really, really good. Absolutely love these zombies. Very much want to do a zombie-based game set during World War II now, so I can make use of them. But that's fine. That's not for you guys to worry about. But yeah, in terms of this starter set, thought it was really, really good value for money. Absolutely cannot fault the value for money on this bad boy. Really, really like the amount of models you get. If you are a bolt action player, the tank is fully usable. The only thing that won't be is the zombies, of course, and the walker. But I think it still works out financially good value for you. If you conflict, as I said, there is stuff going on in the background now, so there's no guarantee that these sets are going to be viable for the new version, but I'm confident that they will be. I'm excited to see what Andy and Gav do. I'm excited to see what the rest of the team come up with and how they progress the lore. In terms of value for money, I think it's all there. Like I said, you can use the tank for both bolt action. You can use the normal soldiers for bolt action. It's worth it, in my opinion. There is a couple of models dashed in there that are actually from something else. I've just noticed them. These are my Achtung Panzer tank officers. I've put them with these because their uniforms don't fit with my bolt action, but I can paint them up for conflict because it's more futuristic. Well, it's still in the past, but it's more alternate reality, so I can get away with it with the way I want to do it, so they're with them. They're on there. They didn't come with those. They're separate, but it's just 2 models. Other than that, really, really nice set. Really, really enjoyed it. Building it all. And yeah, super excited for what's happening coming forward with Konflikt. All I'm going to do now, guys, is the usual. Thank you all for watching the video. If this is the first time watching any of our videos, thank you for getting to the end. I know my voice can be quite grating. Check out some of the other videos that we do. We cover a lot of different games, from bolt action to Hail Caesars coming in the future. We've got a lot of stuff with Baron's War. We cover a lot of Games Workshop, such as Necromunda. Even old stuff like Middle-earth and Mordheim, although Middle-earth is getting a bit of a resurgence. Massively on the Fallout train at the moment. Factions has just been released. Maybe not at the time of this video going up, but certainly at the time of it being filmed. So yeah, very, very excited to show that off. And yeah, guys, honestly do appreciate all the love, comments and stuff that you share on our videos. It's much appreciated. But yeah, as always, like, share, subscribe, pray to the dice gods and hope to smile upon you. And you guys have a good day now. Bye.